Right, I can't get out the fucking door today, countrywide. I put a fucking smash a fucking knife into you. Put a fucking knife in your face. Put a fucking knife in here. Knife here. Knife there. Fucking knife at you. Knife, fucking knife, down in street. Now there's a gun looking fucking American car. Yeah, like yesterday. Fucking evil bastards. Well, get out. Black sexual car time, walking out, time to an erection. I hope this is, I'm gonna have to keep this. I don't know if it's captured it on video. We had this knife shaped fucking car like yesterday. Same fucking setup as yesterday, basically. Where the creator's a fucking mongrel, fucking twisted, hell-bent, fucking buckled backwards. Back goes catalyst. But first of all, American fucking looking car. Gun looking car. Countrywide vehicle. And I've forgotten the rest. A racing car that's gun shaped. 1960s looking. Right, taking away those 3 motorbikes, time to an erection initially. Started to go out yesterday evening, which forced me back home. They timed exactly the same vehicles. It might not be the same colour, but identical vehicles in the same pattern as they did when I went to go out yesterday in the evening. I turned around because I was not in the mood for it, and they're starting this fucking again today. Right, science said. Right, knife-shaped gun, knife-shaped looking sports car again, racing car. Gun-shaped car timed. Not gun-shaped, gun-looking. Loads of black and blue, fucking sick white. 1960s gun looking, knife-shaped looking vehicle again. Yellow car. Pedo said, photo taken of me. Granny aimed and angled at me, drain smashed over. Cell call. Up van, aim van, Alex t-shirt and an Alex Lunnis look-alike. Ripping you to fucking, ripping you to pieces paper shredder van. Smashing you to pieces rubble smashing flatbed lorry. Night attack van. Black and blue car. Sexual car. Grey white. Message number 2, a new van. Just in time car with a smashed double bell alarm clock with just in time written in the middle of the alarm clock with a mallet smashing it on the picture on a van saying just in time. Ripping you to pieces, paper shredder back in my direction. Roughly 50 cars, 80 to 90% set up for suggestion. Politicians laughing on the t-shirt. Right, they're jam packing this area again. Cars 90% trying to collide every fucking car in me. And I bet the traffic drops soon as I fucking film this. Like it usually does, and then I should push stop it and start again, so I'll have to push record again when it happens. So there's been about 20 more cars and about 4 more that have collided to smash me up just to get to the end of where I am, which is basically a 2.5 to 3 minute walk. 4 minutes maximum if you include the bottom part. Right, a vintage black gun looking vehicle. My Willie shoots up, so motorbike, then a black van, and then that white van. There's also been other cars, and sick. All red. Oh, they're going for gold today, the government. They're getting fucking nastier and nastier and nastier. They've blocked me from messaging them, so I've just had to post a massive parcel full of all the problems over the last week where they've stepped up all this fucking action against me. Anything from telling me to fuck people that raped me as a child to saying that I'm going to be ripped to pieces, smashed up, knife dead, taken to pieces in my next life, and claiming that I've raped girls names I've never had sex with, and claiming I've had good sex, or claiming I'm a single daddy that's raped my daughter when I've never had sex with a girlfriend to have a fucking daughter. All that's been posted to them because I'm getting fed up with it. They've got to stop it, and they won't. They're just stepping it up, getting nastier and nastier about it, getting bitter about it, without verifying facts, going with lies, and fucking getting nasty about it. They've also accused me of raping a boy that looks identical to what I look like as a boy at the age of 9, and they're claiming that I raped Mr. Move It. There we are. Mr. Move It van. White. Yeah, so they're claiming I raped a boy that looks identical to myself yesterday or the day before, and they're getting aggressive about it, claiming that I've got to be ripped to pieces for it. Right, in general, that road's heavier than usual. I want to know what's going on. And there's not much of a different time that I'm coming up here than I usually came up here this time last year. So I don't know why they're suddenly stepping it up in this organised way. But I'm red sick, fucking sick. There's nothing I can do about it. The government fucking possessed, going fucking satanic, where they're screwed up pre-noetic science force with screwed up fucking millionaires that have fucking got millions of pounds that are getting a pleasure of fucking ripping people to pieces, slicing their wrists with a creator and fucking sexually slaughtering the cunts, nailing them as a sick cunt, stopping them get sex all their life. Right, this action's been stepped up since Sunday the 12th of May 2024. However, it's not been great in the whole of May. I mean, you had the neighbour that smashed a door in and tried to knife the staff office door in, that got evicted. He didn't get sections, he didn't go jail. So that could be because of his mental health problem, I don't know. He's not allowed to the property for 3 months. Once that 3 months is up, he's allowed to pass. I don't know much else on that. That's all I know. Obviously some of his mates still visit the building now, but at the moment the main setup seems to be suggesting Alex Lunnis today, which is someone I used to know at North Perroton. Then he lived at a Southbourne house where I lived in Bridgewater, and then obviously I moved to Burnham-on-Sea, and now they're bringing back that specific person's name for some reason. Well, there's been roughly 350 cars on that road. The average is usually somewhere between 150, 250 when it's bad. It's definitely within the top 15 of record-breaking traffic setups, and most of those other times are when the traffic's at a standstill and early, or whatever. So yeah, it's been set up heavy today. Right, I wanted to get with last night, but I've not managed to because the setups have been so fucking dreadful today. I had a hangover last night because I had 5 cans of beer, which is the maximum I had, because I planned to make it my last music night of listening to Old School Jungle, the best I can, before coming down to a low amount of drink. So I woke up with a headache, I got a hangover, feeling sick. I'm still not feeling terribly great at this minute in time, but yeah, I could have got up a lot earlier than what I did. Anyway, last night there was a lot of banging. I'm going to fucking shoot him dead. I'm breaking in. He molested Sadie, or Stephanie, Mushroom Girl, and actually bringing this Alex Lunnis into it. They didn't mention his surname, but they are bringing up that Alex name. But obviously this is not Matty because he's not there anymore. But like I said, mates still visit the building because they visit other people, but whoever's causing it I do not know, but it might not be connected to them. But whatever's going on, I can tell you now, there's more coming from this other neighbour than I initially thought. So to get Matty involved, he was probably more innocent. He did do a lot of banging in sequence to threats when he was there, but when you look at last night and this morning, you can definitely tell that it's not great there. But either way, that's that. Someone has stolen my new pouch of baccy, so I bought some gold leaf for 21 quid yesterday. I accidentally left it in the garden when I had a roll up before coming back in, after my second or third can, because I drank a lot last night. When I went back down to get it, someone had been down there and stolen it, so I'm not very happy about that. The next thing that occurred is the loud bike issue. Timing a loud bike time to an erection has occurred about 100 times between yesterday and today, but it's being slyly done. So if you're masturbating, tying to the impulses rather than the actual wanking as such, it's being tied to the actual impulses where you shoot, you like that sort of thing. And obviously I time people to do that. And then obviously as I went to the window, they tried to make the suggestion that the government are throwing a party and laughing about the issue, but I can't remember what the suggestion was. I'm being sort of got people in my direction, is throwing me off what I need to say. I'll have to leave it there. Well, I made it to the catalytic converter hotpoint and I got across, but without any cars, which is very surprising. But I dropped my cheese strings, so I had to go back and get them. So while doing that, I saw a lookalike to someone who looks like my father, and then they were getting really aggressive with the traffic on the road to tell me I'm a sick cunt and to up the age. And so I don't know what they're fucking playing at. They're confused. These bastards, these evil bastards that are setting this this up, they're confused of who that is. So they're timing like someone that looks like my dad, but they think that my dad's younger than me. Well, he wouldn't be my parent, would he, if he's younger than me? And what they're saying is, with the setups, is that I'm fucking sick, fucking sick. And getting nasty about it, like, we're going to rip your fucking head off, we're going to smash you in, we're going to get you knifed into a fucking hospital to get dead, we're going to take your fucking life. Getting really aggressive about it. These fucking millionaires that are setting this up don't have a fucking clue. They're just setting up. They don't have a fucking clue. They're just going with what they think. They're screwing up, they're lost, they're twisted, they're corrupt, they're buckled. And they're just going absolutely fucking crazy on me about it. Just because I walked past a person that looked like that. Unbelievable. I don't know what they're fucking playing at, but they seem to be... They got things all twisted, muddled up. And they're going with action against me, nastily, for muddled up action, when... I don't even know what they were trying to even suggest. They were just getting violent and nasty about it, straight after I walked past that person. There wasn't sexual as such, it was just absolute violence. But anyway, I managed to get back after about 50 cars, or 50 vehicles in total, including the wording on vehicles or whatever, past the catalytic converter hot point. In actual fact, it's one of the busiest I've known it. So I went to go and push record on there. The battery went flat, so I had to change that. And then obviously I managed to get down this track, which I'm at down at the moment. Right, just had a pasty, but before that, you're being fucking beat up, you monster, said by a bearded type chap with sexual looking, smooth skin type girlfriend. The blonde type, as they're all, you know, they're always with that type. The point of saying what type, because all the rough types of people are with these smooth skin, soft skin fucking women anyway, so just take that as being a natural thing that occurs, so just mentioning it. Right, so I've been down here 2 years now, this route. Obviously I've lived in Newville 3 years. Well, they just timed a car with a smashed glass with blood all over it looking type of vehicle. Very similar to the Hopkins lorries, but with a sharper looking, blood splattered everywhere sort of picture on the vehicles. That seems to be one of the most common pictures on vehicles that they were setting up ever since I came back from staying at my father's to go back to Thorn House. Yesterday I was in pain, by the way, all day from burning, but the day before I was getting stinging eyes. So whether something is being caused I do not know, but it's interesting, it's worth mentioning, because this is the reason I was playing loud music last night and why I wasn't very happy today. But regardless of that, the government are going on with the setups regardless. They do it regardless. I've been to Bridgewater Magistrates Court and in the police station. They just suddenly step it up nailing me as a sick bastard, saying we're going to rip you to fucking pieces or whatever, and sexuality, and taking a piss out me being raped as a child, or claiming and saying you're going to get no one, you're going to have sex. Doing it in a real nasty way. But that's the way they are. These bastards there's no remorse. These bastards are just fucking stone cold evil bastards that are billionaires that want to rip you to fucking pieces. They don't give a shit as long as they've got their fucking money. It's as simple as that. Right, I think it's either the first time that I did this route, or in the early days of doing this route, I noticed that this road all around here, they suddenly stepped up a couple or several hundred vehicles on this specific road. So I was mentioning it to the staff worker, Helen, and she says yes, it can get quite busy up there. So I've come to the conclusion this has never happened before. So I think what's happened is there's a road closure or diversion where they put everybody in this country lane to make it like a motorway. So that's the only thing I can possibly think of for the reason it being that busy in the early days of when I was coming up here, because there was a lot of setups and it was in the way it was controlled. That road was busy down there as well, where it's still record breaking to this day, and that's just in the first few times of coming up here. Crow says fuck gag or something very similar. So yeah, that's what God wants to tell me. I just want to mention this because I haven't really mentioned much about it. In recent times I've seen the social worker, support worker, whatever, and they're asking how do you like your kit at your old place, or how do you like Burnham or whatever. So I said, the thing is with Burnham is they want to inject me with snake venom to kill me, and it's all connected to my ex-mugger Dan Morgan and his mates, and they all hang around Barrow churchyard or around there to say that they're going to saying I'm a child rapist and I've got to be murdered or shot dead or injected with this substance. And if we go back to September when I was camping, lookalike to my ex-mugger, Dan Morgan, and whether it was him or not, it looks like a younger person, was actually had a snake top on, had a plastic glove on, which went right up to the top of his arm nearly, halfway up, and maybe making a suggestion that he wants to inject someone or kill someone, which is possibly me, with a snake needle. So that's just a possibility, and obviously this Gemma Ferguson's connected with all this. She doesn't like me because she thinks I'm a rapist as well, and obviously there's the possibility, I'm not saying it is caused by her, it could be caused by this Lisa Pike looking prostitute who called herself Jeanette. In actual fact, this Jeanette prostitute, when she grows to be Lisa Pike's age, although Lisa Pike's is one I can't take to, the really ugly, this Jeanette, or if that is her proper name, is worse looking than that. In actual fact, I wasn't going to open the door, but I wasn't sure at the time, going back, when that scam took place, just under or around about 800 quid I was scammed off, and obviously the neighbours were saying it's because it's caused by Dan, so whether there's another Dan or whether it's the same Dan, to try and get money for the old neighbours to move in and the new neighbours to move out, sort of thing, or vice versa. Hang on, catalytic converters reversing at me, for fuck's sake, Downing Street. This Jeanette, or whatever her name is, found me on dating site. She's claiming to be a single woman, but also... Right, sorry about that, being choked out by a fucking catalyst. There's a catalytic converter, smells like vinegar, mixed with the smell of rubbing two stainless steel knives against garden crest, 50 or 100 times stronger. They cause that specific smell on purpose. It's basically, they wanted to tell me that sex with an old granny that looks like she's got tomato ketchup all over her face, or shingles all over her face, is the attraction that you get with a person. That's the suggestion of a catalytic converter smell. So they keep on suggesting that. But in recent times, they're twisting it as being younger adults or sexual looking adults. So that's only been twisted in recent times. Maybe this year only, 2024. Before that, when they were making the suggestion of a catalytic converter, they were referring, it's supposed to suggest a granny and ugly sex. But they're twisting it again, so that's worth mentioning as well. Anyway, this Jeanette, she's supposed to have been 22, but 18, but she looked around about 22, and she had sort of rough skin, wasn't very good looking at all. In actual fact, if I was thinking straight at the time, I wouldn't have answered the door. But that's the other alternative person to the issue of the wanting to smash me up on the railway track with a knife. That's just a possibility, I don't know. Well, I'm actually soaking wet in sweat where it's so hot and sunny. Yeah, Mary Magdalene Church, you can't go in there anymore, so you're sort of stuck out from it. But the very first time they locked that church up, I saw the very old lady that works. There's also a bearded chap that works there, a rough looking bearded chap in fact, in between rough and, but the sort doesn't like me, let's put it that way. He's only about what, 30ish maybe at a push, a youngish chap. Anyway, at the time I was doing that Mary Magdalene recording, Jesus having sex with a very sexual soft skinned woman called Mary Magdalene, was actually right in the middle of that video when they said they're going to lock the church up and it's going to be locked completely from now on, so worth mentioning. Right, the bastards are forcing me in the sunshine. I can't sit on that bench to avoid getting heat stroke or soaking wet in from the sun. They've increased the traffic, the catalytic converters on the car to cause that stupid smell, vinegar, whatever you want to call it, mixed with that rubbing crest between two stainless steel knives type of smell, about 100 times stronger. I'm not in the fucking mood for that. So I'm just going to have to sit in the sun and get soaked wet. There's nothing I can do about it. Right, if you're going to eat, we're going to gas you with catalyst. That's what the fucking government want. Right, so they only pack the traffic, and while I'm actually looking down to see what they're setting up. So firstly, it's a setup to say, fuck the guts out of someone who sexually abused me as a child, and saying I'm a cold bastard because I won't make love and not war. And then there's a person with a couple of disabled people that pass, wearing a top saying age is just a number, and regarding the disability as well, saying that the disability is just something or rather, on a t-shirt my way. Now, as you can hear, there's been about 10 loud bikes in the last few minutes being deliberately tied to an erection. Right, I just want to give you a bit more on this backy issue, because what's happened is I went to my dad's for 6 weeks and I got into the habit of smoking again. And obviously I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm trying to keep clean, not smoke or anything else, but what else do I have in life? I'm never going to get sex, I'm never going to get a girlfriend. I'm just going to have to remain sexually abused as a child and thank Jesus Christ for fucking shitting on you and stopping you get anyone all your life, and you know, that and that. Put up with all the setups, you know, industrial force against you. Put up with all the threats, being photographed, having your life, being chased with knives, being threatened to be killed, being mistaken as a rapist, you know, and whatever. Being told you're going to be killed, knifed, beat up, and whatever. Put your life in jeopardy every day. Really, there's no point in living. But you know, if you've got some backy, you've got your drink in the alcoholic drink in the evenings, that's fine. So last night at 5, I was drinking very heavy, and then some of them I was sort of tipping out a bit at the top, adding a bit of water in them, just to make them a bit weaker, because obviously I wanted to keep a steady flow. So obviously they're cheap cans, so they're not the nicest cans you can do. But if it's expensive cans, I prefer not to do any wasting at all. I prefer to drink them properly. Though, because I tried to get into a habit of giving up once, just before I moved to Yeovil when I was camping, I was going to literally 2, and you'd get that quarter can and you were struggling to get those little ones just to drink a section of that instead of wasting the whole can. But you're thinking to yourself, at that time you're thinking you're still in your 30s, you know, 39 going back 4 years ago, you think it's not a good age, but you think it's that possibility of getting sex for the first time ever in your whole life might still be there. But then those years have just passed, your life just got worse and worse. Those chances have got lower and lower. People are getting more tight with the age. So I thought of giving up. So I started smoking again. But anyway, just after 10 a.m. yesterday morning, which was Sunday, I paid 21 quid to get a pouch of 30 grams of gold leaf. And initially I was smoking the last little bit throughout the day of the old pouch. And then when it came to the evening, when I started my drinking, I still went to bed at 1 a.m, so it wasn't, you know, I drank a lot and I drank them fast. So I did get quite wrecked. I did get pissed. It's very rare I do that, but I did get pissed, but it's only the starting stages of pissed. And then I drank a load of water to try and avoid getting hangovers the next day, but it didn't work. Anyway, I went down in the early hours twice. Mostly at times when things were kicking off, but lots of banging were occurring. So I had one roll up out of the new pouch of backy that I bought in the garden, in the communal garden. But what happened is once I had that roll up and came upstairs, I accidentally left that pouch in the garden. So a £21 pack of backy just went missing from the garden when I went back down there about half an hour later, because I realised that I left my backy in the garden. So once that occurred, I was not very happy. But what I do know is that Peter wouldn't have done it, because Peter doesn't smoke that sort of backy, and Peter's a sort of innocent type of person that wouldn't steal backy. So I can confirm it wouldn't have been done by Peter, and also it's possibly that no one on the top floor did it either, because in the time period that the backy went missing, nobody came in or came out of those doors on the top floor in the time period between when I last had a roll up and went back down to get the backy to look for it and found out it went missing. So I don't know who's had it. I won't accuse anyone because I don't actually know, but what I can say is it wasn't there. That's all I can say. It might have been done by a visitor, or it might have been done by someone, I don't know, but all I can say is it wasn't there when I went back down to get my second roller. So I was scraping up the dust from the old pouch and smoking the last bits of that basically, and then obviously that was that. So I got no backy today. So I woke up with a hangover, a massive headache, and that headache's getting worse again. It's sort of, there's like an ease and it goes, it comes. It's never gone completely, but at this minute in time it's really bad. And also I've been feeling sick all day, but not as sick now as I was earlier on. But it's certainly not something you'd want to have. So basically I'd gone for this walk today to try and ease that headache, to take your mind off it. That's the reason the walk is, to take your mind off it. or otherwise if it's just that little bit worse, I'd be stuck in bed. And I was at 9 o'clock this morning. I was too ill to get up. Well, actually it was just a bit before that, 8:45, and then it was 10:45 that I woke up and I couldn't do anything. I was sitting in bed listening to banging in sequence to frets underneath me. Not Matty because he's not there anymore, but it's possibly his mates in another neighbour's flat on that level. Certainly wasn't good. So eventually feeling ill, I almost threw up. I was nearly being sick while walking up here, but I wasn't. And now I was we're not sick, we're coughing bad basically. Not was sick as such, but coughing up where a bit sick came out at the same time. So I had to do that inside. Don't really want to, bring it up unless it's absolutely necessary. But I was pretty ill this morning. But that sicky feeling's actually gone. It's still there here and there, very mildly, but nowhere like it was, let's say, 1 hour ago. However, that headache is just remaining and remaining. But sometimes you'll get times where it goes almost completely and comes back. But let's just see what happens. This is beyond belief. This really is. There's a girl that I saw on the South Peverton bus back, I think it's the very first time I ever used it when I first moved to Yeovil. And there's a girl on her age about 11ish, something like that. And she had a ring on her finger, and I think it's the one that was talking to her boyfriend on the phone. And I thought, yeah, that's a young age to have, to be talking about enjoying sex and whatever on the phone or whatever. Where I saw her again at Barrack. This time she looks a lot older, taller. Then you had this graffiti in the subway that says listen, and it's got like a girl's face that's drawn that resembles this specific girl's face. I passed that the other day and it's been painted over in white, so that's not there now. Well, I've just seen this girl again with which I take to be her boyfriend, and she's just had a baby, and she's still only about 13 or 14. So just mentioning it. Crow says knife dead. I've just spoken to the Christian lady that I know. It's one of the most popular Christian people I sort of walk into, because I don't really walk into many people that I know when I'm doing this walk. Well, I was only just mentioning something, and as before I managed to complete the sentence of what I wanted to say, she basically said, well, maybe God doesn't want you to do that. Maybe God wants to plan it a different way. Or saying, God, if God doesn't want you to do things or do this. So I'm thinking to myself, when she says that, oh, God doesn't want me to have anyone. God wants me to be sexually abused as a child. God wants me knife dead. You're thinking to yourself, all that, Well, it's true, isn't it? If she's going to say that, to what I tried saying, But never mind. I was polite, obviously. I let her go. And she says, I haven't seen you at the church that often. Well, I think that says it all, doesn't it? I mean, every time I go to the church, there's always problems. There's always threats. If there's a loud bike trying to an erection in the service, or you're praying to God, a seagull go ha 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 ha, right above the church, and you get other things. It's like God just doesn't give a fuck, or doesn't. It's a neutral God that curses you, basically. So, how can you? So, I've said this many times. Over the last 4 years, up until late 2022, I stopped going to church and stuff like that, because my life is just getting worse and worse and worse, where God's hexing me with all these problems. So what's the point if your life's going to get worse? The point is praying, isn't it? If your life's just going to get worse and worse, and you're not going to find anyone, and then when you try and look for a partner, never had sex in your life. Oh, Christian people don't give a fuck about you, even those who have rapture dreams or young ladies. They got you down as a sicko, say, don't have me, just fuck off. Christian tell you, so pray to Jesus, Jesus will help. And yeah, of course he helps. Life gets worse when you pray for 2 or 3 years, and then when it comes to other Christians, their life improves. Jesus helps them in their lives. They see Jesus. And that's something else I've noticed. Those that have a good life, or enjoy life, or have had good things happen to them in life, get the privilege of God coming into their lives, telling them their lives are going to get even better, and it does. But when it comes to people that have had a bad life, or poor type of people, or anything like that, God doesn't give a fuck. God only gives a fuck about the strong. And if you're weak because you're powerless against whatever, God just sees you as a piece of shit. Simple as that. Now you've got loud bikes or erections. You can't stop that. You've got force against you. If you've got force against you, there's nothing you can do about it. But as far as I'm concerned, God may help some people, but I've seen on Facebook and other places where other people have complained saying God hasn't done anything at all in their lives and hasn't helped them, done nothing. So, very neutral. Maybe it's just that the elite or the government or God's forces are deliberately making it look like he's helping people and helping just those very few, just to disguise that he doesn't give a fuck about anyone. Maybe, just a possibility. Right, Crow says spastic train time after the bike to the erection. And I think I mentioned it. Crow says spastic. Okay. Well, I've been mentioning I've had a headache all day. Well, actually, it's getting worse again. So, no, I'm not happy about it. Crow says knife dead, fucked up. The other thing I wanted to mention is this headache's fucking worsening. So I'm wondering whether God's cursing me. You mention his name, or do anything, even if it's on a recording, or that name's put into your head, these problems seem to occur and these headaches worsen, or you feel ill or whatever. I don't know who God is, Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, Jesus Christ, but those four deities just make me feel fucking down in the dumps. I mean, when I've gone to church in the past and I've had a down day, when they sort of talk about Jesus helping in people's lives, or it just makes your fucking guts want to feel like you want to flop out over the floor feeling like a piece of shit, and like you don't want to fucking move or do anything. Just the name Jesus Christ can put you in a state where you feel, ugh, you know, and you just don't want to fucking do nothing, or just want to fucking collapse on the floor in delusion, feeling suppressed as fuck. So I don't know why that is, but you mention the word Allah, or they discuss Jesus. Even now I'm talking about it's not making me feel very good. But I don't know what it is, but there's never help, or there's never any goodness, or you never feel great when people talk about that. And most times people talk about Christ is always to say the good things in life, and how he's helped in sexual relationships, and how people have been brought together and their lives are improved. And you think to yourself, you don't want to hear all that garbage because it's not true. When it comes to you, sort of thing, you're thinking, oh yeah, it certainly helped in my life. Oh, wonderful things he's done in my life. You think it just makes you feel really fucking down in the dumps, suppressed, and you know, just speaking about it now is making me feel like a piece of shit. So. But anyway, I'll leave it there. More recently, I've been looking into like Lucifer and Satanism to see if there's any sort of spells or things that you can do as an alternative, because God doesn't do nothing or doesn't help you, or it just doesn't seem to be, everything seems to be neutral or cursed or against you, or making you feel like sick, making you feel ill. But then I haven't really gone into it that much to be able to mention or comment on that at the moment. But if we go to like, if we were to look at New Age or Christianity, looking at those two specific things in particular, with Christianity, you go to church or you pray to Jesus, you think everything is fucking suppressing you, it's just sickening you. You feel like jelly on the floor, you just feel like, oh, I can't be bothered to stand up. I don't want to live. You just feel like you want to fall asleep and not get up again. You just feel like that all the time. Where with New Age, or when it comes to spiritism or ghosts, or trying to open portals with mirrors, or lighting a candle, or using a Ouija board, or crystals, or whatever, if you have them or whatever, you know, it has a different effect, you know. It might not be very active, but it makes you feel a bit better than, say, Christianity, or things like Muslims or Islam or whatever. Islam, again, I've read somebody, the Quran, again, it's just like the Jesus Christ religion. It's neutral, it just makes you feel down in the dumps, it doesn't do nothing. you need... I'm not sure who the proper God is, if there is a proper God. So you I think spirits, even demons, even though they're not the nicest of spirits, at least they can give you some form of entertainment if you're fucking feeling like a piece of shit. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they might not be the nicest entities, according to what people say, or religious people say, but when you consider how God helps and Jesus helps and everything else, at least you're getting some form of entertainment or something that to lift you up when you're in the fucking lowest of states ever. I mean, when you're praying to Christianity or anything like that, all you're hearing is people having good lives, good sexual relationships, and the way Jesus is. And I mean, I've been to a church in the early days. I was going to a church when I was moving in Yeovil, not the early days of when I went to start the church, but when I went in the early days when I moved to Yeovil. So it was only about a year and a half I did it in Yeovil, and just over a year and a half before I moved to Yeovil. So, and all they were saying is the way Jesus has put you and that person together, how Jesus has helped in sexual relationships, and you're thinking to yourself, yes, the only sex he's let me have is someone raping me as a child, and saying how you had the beauty of sex and the purity of sex. Nah, and then they joke about it, say, oh, we're all old now, we're not going to get anyone now, but at least Jesus helped you in your younger life. That's the problem, he hasn't. So you're getting things like that said in religious places, and it's making you feel like fucking, it's just sickening you all the time. So, and when you do pray to Jesus, you find the following day there's a whole load of cells of worse. Animal sounds increase, loud bites to erections, threats, enemies, photographing you, mistaking you as Sven to get someone to kill you, shoot you down, to break your arms and legs off, to smash you up into a hospital bed, to knife you down. What's the point in praying to or worshipping a God that does... It's pointless, isn't it? I won't go any further than this because it's making me feel down just speaking about it. Let's speak about New Age. That'll cheer me up, because with New Age, you stand a better chance with a fucking Ouija board than or dabbling with spirits or demons. It's like I said, demons might not be the nicest entity, but what else is there? I don't know what to say. Well, I've just been stung on the leg with a stinging nettle. Actually, come to think of it, when I went to Barrow Church in September of 2023, after doing that camping trip, the bloke who was monitoring the thing, he was just making loads of sarcastic remarks next to this old lady who was sarcastic, saying that I'm Sven, he's going to be fucking shot, he's a real sick bastard. And he said if I wasn't there, he said I'd fucking beat him up right now. He said I'm going to get someone to do him over and all the rest of it. And you're thinking to yourself, that's Christians treating you like that. So you're going to sort of pray to God or whatever, which I only went there just to catch up on a few friends. But I didn't realise that they all turned against me thinking I'm Sven, including those where I showed identification to confirm who I am, with older identification to confirm that my name has never changed. But regardless to what I showed them just before I moved to Yeovil, to when I visited in September 2023, they fucking all fell out with me, the whole lot of them. All the people in there, they all think I'm Sven. And even when I reminded them of my proper name. So, yeah, Christians are just as nasty as everybody else. And God doesn't help, I can tell you that. Even if you're on your last legs, God don't give a fuck. Loud bike time to an erection at the catalytic converter hot point as I'm approaching. There we are, that's what Jesus wants. He wants me to get my willy up over a bike. That's about as best it fucking gets with that creator God. It's like I said, I've just been sung. As soon as I speak about God, all these curses increase, Well, it was about 3 minutes ago since I'd done the last video. Well, what's causing it, but my headache's worsening. It's as bad as what it was when I was near enough in this area earlier, walking up in the other direction. Where I was literally coughing, bringing up a little tiny bit of sick. We've gone back to that. I haven't got the sickness, that's gone, but that headache's worsening again. So maybe me talking about God's causing it, I don't know. But I'm not very happy about it either way. Just about approaching Tim Thurgood's house. Obviously not his house, but the drive that goes to there. Because you've got the road down below and then there's a road that goes to his house. He's a Christian. One of the earliest Christians I knew when I moved to Yeovil. He said that he was an old age of 32 and saying he had to wait until 32. He didn't know my age at the time, and he said 32, and he said that it was about 30. He started Christianity, started praying to God, and in that 2 years, Jesus helped him remarkably, and he found his really sexy girlfriend, and they got in a sexual relationship, and lived happily ever after, and that Jesus really helped him in just 2 years. And back at that time, he says, how long have you been doing it? I said, a year and a half, just before I moved. And he said, it takes 2 years. He said, it could take a bit longer for some people. And he sort of joked, he said, you definitely have someone before you'll be the age of 35, at the time that is. But he didn't know me at the time. And then obviously, actually he's sort of between them, that Sven business was going around as well, by the way, in that church. So it took a long time for them to come around and actually start get liking me a little bit. So 32, so I said no, I'm actually, well, what was it, 40 at the time. So I was a bit disappointed when I mentioned that, but I thought to myself, I said I've been church, I've been for a couple of years, but he doesn't seem to help me. So just keep praying. When it came to 2022, when I stopped doing it all, it turned out to be the nastiest fret year on record, the nastiest year for people photographing me, of up to 40 to 200 people photographing me in one day. That's the same with the frets. Rare, but it can go higher than that. It's been higher than that in the past. About 200 usually your maximum height. Battery's gone flat, and I can't remember what I was speaking about, but I think I completed what I wanted to say. So we've had our bikes to erections, changing the battery. You have this American actress, or Gabby Borges, that added me as she subbed me on YouTube about 2011 area. When it comes to that sort of type person, in reality, that sort of person doesn't really like me that much. But just to confirm it, a young couple just walked past, no threats or anything like that. But that was a girl that looked identical to Gabby Borges, the soft type of attraction, blonde hair, and gave me that evil look, that dark look, as if you're a piece of shit, get out of my way because I'll fucking start on you if you don't. So there's your answer. That type don't like me either. I already knew that, but just giving you an update of how it is in 2024. Right, before the battery went flat, I sort of picked up on something. I can't remember the full things I said. I don't want to replay the video because it wastes the battery, and I'm on my last battery. Basically, a couple of months in, after discussing saying that I'm in my 40s and not had anyone, we basically came to some form of agreement that Jesus may not help you in this life, but if you pray to him, he might sort of, all that crap. So in the end, I sort of thought, I had to stop the recording because there's some people passing. But basically, that's what happened at that time. I'm not 100% sure, but someone's wearing a t-shirt that looks very similar to one of the Jesus Christ. Obviously, because it's on person, I can't take a picture. But because, but it's one of those. I'm getting confused what to say now. All our bikes to erections, stepping up the traffic on that road. Next motorbike finds my willy going up. Jesus wants my willy over a bike. It's interesting that the people that are setting this force up against me know the surnames as a neighbour. Waterman, followed by Turners, followed by I've forgotten now. Was saying basically a setup to basically say, oh, a know-how, that's it, know-how and advance air. And then obviously a load of traffic, black and blue, sit, whatever. While writing down the setups on that road, there's been about roughly 100 more vehicles in a black and blue sick pattern. Right, nothing I can do about it. The creator's fucking crooked as fuck. Car as child rape is just, and nothing I can do about it. Creative's absolutely malice. So yeah, I'm being accused of being the person that raped me as a child, so there's nothing I can do about it. The bastard's fucking fallen. This is why I'm getting fucking suppressed, innit, when I go to churches or whatever. I can tell you, it just makes you feel fucking down in the dumps. I left the church, so this week I went to take some pictures, but that's it. I sat there and I was just feeling fucking sickening, fucking down in the fucking dumps. Pointless going, learning about nothing that's going to fucking do anything apart from fucking become neutral or fucking make your life fucking hell. So yeah, I didn't bother staying. God doesn't help people. God's just a nasty piece of shit as disguise. Well, he doesn't with me anyway. He might help some people, but he's picky and choosy, and he's sneaky about how he fucking goes about it if he does. This is why I'm looking into Luciferian Satanism and worshipping Baphomet. I don't know if that's the proper God. What we're being fucking told, or what we're being manipulated with, we'll fucking never know. And too many people are so stupid out there, and even the intelligent people, you can't fucking guarantee what they're saying through. Even these conspiracy theorists like Dr. Chuck Missler, or William Cooper, who's kind of half Christian. Who was the other one? There was another one, Roger Monroe, or something like that, who was a Satanist and then became a Christian. Right, I've been photographed, there's nothing I can do about it, but there's been no threats. Now I'm on heavy trumpet mail. The government stepped up with traffic, so there's going to be colliding definitely. Since they've stepped up these setups, there's nothing I can do about it. The bastards are just menacing as fuck. I think it was April, I can't remember, but April 2 years ago, I did a camping trip at Weymouth, Portland, because the bus was too late, all the buses didn't arrive. When I did camp, I found it was a nice experience, but they were timing these setups to apply that they're going to play about with me with poker sticks in a fireplace when I'm born as a baby in my next life. So they're starting that setup again. Oh, Tesco van. Yeah, so they're starting that crap again with the setups, especially since they stepped it up since it's 12. They want to make the suggestion that they're waiting for me to be reborn into a new life so they can play about with me in a fireplace with poker sticks. There's another Tesco van, so whether they're going to curse me with the sun tomorrow or next day or whenever it's a cloudy day, I don't know. So with the creator God's buckled controlled movement around me, there's a overhanging trailer trying to rip my legs off, and a black sexual car with light on my way, a car trying to smash into me, going right close to me, and then sick white car, nothing I can do about it. The creator God's absolutely satanic, fucking possessed with evil, fucking with full power and full force, with energy to cause his fucking corrupt force to go against me. Being gunned down, said top speed van, red sexual car my way, white, red on me, phone call at me, B looking Bond van. Right, 80 more cars set up in that black and blue pattern, where the creator God's gone completely twisted, corrupt, fucking fallen to the fucking bottom of the fucking hell pit. Nothing you can do about it, the creator's fucking gone. The eager bastard creator God has caused more phone calls at me, more of these cars, you know, controlled black, sick, fucking rip you to fucking pieces, tear you apart. But God's using his works, his creation, his works in a fucking disabled, buckled, hell-bent fucking manner to rip you to fucking pieces. Drains smashing, not much you can do about it, creator's fallen. About the evil bastard's possessive. Got full fucking malice, just like snakes killing other animals. The way God's diabolic creation works. Well, the creator's fucking buckled, bent, hell fucked up, causing me to drop all the fucking shopping on the floor, so I'm not very fucking happy. The bastard's just buckled to fuck. The creator's absolutely fucking satanic. Right, Bayford and boner and motorbike time. But before that, by the counter, all my fucking alcohol fell all over the fucking floor. Then the second pack fell over the fucking floor. Then I dropped all the orange bottles over the fucking floor as well. So God's certainly making you fucking pay your fucking price that you're in his fucking creation. Rip you to fucking pieces. Right, well, he's high up over next motorbike. Nothing I can do about it. And Stan Robinson, so we need that knife suggestion. The creator's absolutely fucking fucked. Yeah, that fucking bastard's fucking evil. Sick white, grey, blue, black and blue, sick Christ. That's Christ, you fucking diseased bastard. Alright,
what you doing with that?
I was making a film of the problems of what the elite or the government are setting up in my direction.
Oh, okay.
Alright. No, I can show you. I'll show you now. Either that evil bastard Jesus Christ has cursed me to get in trouble with this lady, but what I was filming was not actually her. I was filming the setups of the creator God being a vicious, malicious little bastard, or either the government setting force up against me. and obviously I had to show my camera to show what was on there, to confirm that there was nothing on there that had her on there. But however, I did make an audio recording of the argument, because she turned out quite nasty at first, before calming down when I showed her the camera and telling her that it's the government that's causing this force against me. Right, since I've been back home, it's loud bikes to erections and threats outside. It seems to be quite bad, in fact, and it's the first time it's been this bad for a long time for this time of the day. Stabbing HIV, a paedophile, having a break-in, losing your life, and having my penis hit about with a loud bike and getting pissed off at it now because there's been about 50 since I've been back.